So this is going to be number 2 video that I'm recording, and these are new for me, so I would appreciate any feedback through my email address or otherwise through my website. You'll find phone number and contact information. But I just want to provide some information for some generals for people that are looking to improve their health. I said these first couple kind of specifically for the groups I'm working with, or women that I'm training with, for energy factors and things like that. So this one, the last one I did, was mostly on the nutritional component, and I did some detail, but I also left it broad so people can let me know if they have specific questions, or if you really need more help in getting everything set up, come in and see me, schedule an appointment or that free 15-minute consultation, so we can see if it'd be good for us to work together and get you working on the goals that you have in mind. So this one I'm going to focus on a little bit more for athletes or even just moms in general who are kind of stressed due to the nature of our daily activities, our daily lifestyles, all the expectations. And this can be men as well. Moms and dads are both balancing, family and life. But I'm thinking particularly the women that I'm training with of, all of a sudden you're increasing your caloric expenditure, you're exercising, your schedule is maybe gone from a couple days a week to now doing 5 or 6 days a week of intense training, and you're kind of feeling the effects of it. So a big component is that nutritional factor, and that ties into self-care. So managing your stress and making sure that everything really is balanced, which can be very challenging. So the other component is that if it is, adding in the training or, whatever your X factor may be of that outside added component that may be increasing stress, maybe not necessarily feeling it emotionally, but your body thinking of the stressors on your cells and, all the way down to that level of your mitochondria, your energy. So ways to really support that. Because with the changes, we think of the hormonal picture involved, particularly some of the common ones, thinking cortisol is going to be a familiar one, which is our response when we start working out or we're doing anything where we increase heart rate, increase respiratory rate. Our cortisol increases as well to help push all of our blood flow away from our digestion, away from our core calm, to our extremities so that we're able to perform or, do what we need to do. In a lot of cases, we do have that cortisol boost and it's a stress, but it's not a physical stress. And so what our body does is it has to respond by our adrenal glands, which are on top of our kidneys, and they help regulate and respond to cortisol. The component that factors in here is that our cortisol is one direction that our fat, our cholesterol, are, kind of the foundation of a lot of our hormones. It either goes, if there's a demand and there's too much stress or cortisol production is going up, all of that cholesterol or, significant chunk goes over to the production of that line, the cortisol, rather than going down the other line towards our reproductive hormones, our progesterone, testosterone, our estrogens, through a cycle there. So then we start to experience, brain fog, sluggishness, afternoon cravings or crashes in our energy, disturbances with sleep, kind of a combination of any or all of the above. And so when we're looking at this, I'm thinking, okay, is our nutrition on board? Do we need to do a little bit more balancing with that, especially our healthy fats? And then the other component is looking at and considering where is the state of our adrenal glands, which is also impacted by our thyroid health. So I've found here in El Paso, there's a significant amount or portion of the population coming that have either already on thyroid medication or showing symptoms of kind of the sluggishness, weight gain, brittle nails, hair falling out, all of these components. So we have to look, is it thyroid? Is it adrenals? Is it reproductive hormones? What is contributing to that picture? So one easy place to look, especially if we kind of have targeted, okay, it has been since I started training harder, more days a week, I've kind of had this crash. Or I get done with my exercise routine and I am just crashed for the rest of the day. I have no energy, and therefore I'm also slightly irritable. And, that picture can be one of we're looking at, okay, what is going on with our adrenals? Is it, too much to be able to keep up with? And then you can consider some supplements, some different herbs, and nutrients as well that can help support that. So I will start with just a couple. So nutrient-wise, vitamin C is probably the number one that can help not only our immune system, but our adrenal glands definitely need high doses, and I say high doses, but higher amounts of vitamin C to help function and go through all the processing that it needs to. The other factor that I consider is for energy are B vitamins that can help us get through and give us some energy, because B vitamins are found in so many different pathways within our body needed for energy, for detoxification, and just all of our cellular functions. So those are two components nutrient-wise that can be added in the proper dosing. And B vitamins, we need to consider one component is how your body processes them. There's a chunk of the population that has a deficiency in the enzymes that convert B vitamins to the active form. And when we see that difficulty converting, it doesn't matter how much B vitamin you put in. If it's not an active form and you're not processing it well due to various factors, or the genetic enzymes, the enzymes that may have a genetic alteration in the either one or both of them not functioning optimally, we won't notice a difference if they're not active form. So a lot of times they'll add in the active form and see how your body responds. But again, it needs to be done carefully if you are not sure. Herbally wise can be another great benefit, and this is the one that either using it before your workouts or before and after to help prevent the energy crashes. Some of the great ones, especially ashwagandha, is an Ayurvedic herb that can be really great for having kind of a thyroid and adrenal picture. To help support what your body needs, what your adrenals need to balance out and manage the cortisol. There's some great formulas out there. Pretty much any good company, which that's a whole nother broadcast or webinar session on good quality supplements. But a couple of the sites I look for knowing, whether they're third-party tested to where they're going to be good quality products are looking at naturalpartners.com, emersonecologics.com is another one. And then locally, Sprouts is also, a store that does third-party testing on its products. So I know that whatever product getting from one of those sites, it is what is supposed to be in it for herbs, and it's not going to have other components that should not be in there, which is really important if you're looking for results. If you go get ashwagandha someplace you don't know whether it's actually in there and it doesn't do anything for you, you are not making the best use of your money, and it doesn't help you feel better, which was the overall goal. So those are great resources. Some of the product lines that I really go to quite a bit because I have tried their products, and I know one of them for women specifically, since I'm speaking to an audience of, probably going to my fellow Mighty Mujer colleagues first, is called Vitanica, and Adrenal Assist is one of their formulas. ITI is another company that has great formulas for all varieties of adrenal, needing adrenal support. Designs for Health is a really good one. And then if we're just going for herbals, I tend to go through Wise Woman Herbals is a really great company. Oregon's Wild Harvest has great products. Herb Farm. And all of these I speak to specifically because I've been to their facilities and seen their manufacturing products or processing and whatnot, and I really believe in their products. So those are a great place to start. So I only started with ashwagandha. Some other ones that you need to kind of go off of symptom picture would be ones like rhodiola is really great as an adaptogenic herb, but needing to be careful of how we're dosing that. Even simple ones like holy basil is also seen as Tulsi tea or capsules, and that one is great, especially if you have any respiratory concerns along with whatever is going on. It's an adaptogenic herb, but it also helps support the nervous system through, the respiratory system. And then some other ones, if we're looking at more of the reproductive hormone component, or needing to balance more of that, our testosterone, progesterone with the cortisol balance, looking at things like maca can be really great. And it all depends on where you're at and what's going on to choose what specific formula and herbs would be the best for you. But there's some ideas that you can start researching and seeing, if you have this picture, which one might be the best for you. Finally, though, and probably the most important, underlying all of this I mentioned throughout is stress on the system. And it can be an inflammation from, the toxins. We have more toxins coming in through our food, pesticides, herbicides, everything is sprayed, everything is coated for shipping. So just reducing the toxic burden on our system. So we really have to consider how our liver is functioning to process everything. But in addition to those stressors, considering how you're managing your stress and really trying to keep your cortisol for when you need it and not having these spikes because our blood sugar is low, as I kind of mentioned in the nutrition component, as well as using it in other areas so that we're waking up in the middle of the night when we shouldn't be and things like that. So stress management is very, very important for underlying any kind of adrenal, when we're considering adrenal health or, energy and things like that. So I hope this was helpful, and please let me know if you have any questions. Again, my website is the easiest way to find my contact information, and it is at guidedtrailsnaturalhealth.com. And my email is dralannamclaughlin@gmail.com. And I hope this was helpful, and I hope to hear from some of you later.